If you find that you're more hungry for going after your dream than you are for the steak dinner, then you're gonna be willing to live lean. Because you're like, okay, well, I may be eating ramen noodles right now, but if I stay the course, I'll be back at filet mignon.
It's the all-new Valley Gold with Debórah. This is the show that brings you the stars, the stories, and the performances. You'll see familiar faces and you'll get to learn more about how they do what they do. Today, Debórah chops it up with guitarist, singer and songwriter, and now member of the Daz band, Alvin Frazier. So stay tuned. Debórah has great features for you on the all-new Valley Gold with Debórah. Stay tuned for our Legends Music Moment. Special delivery. That's what each newborn baby is in the hands of your team in the village. Dr. Rodney Hill and his professional staff of nurse practitioners, conveniently located on 5th Avenue in Youngstown, open weekdays and Saturdays. Call today. Whether it's Motown, Philly Soul, Stax, Solar, Savoy, you name it, people from every nation love old school rhythm and blues music. Now I hope you enjoy.
Hey, my name is Howard Howell. This is my Legends Music Moment. Fly me to the moon and let me play amongst the stars. Let me see when life is right. Oh, Jupiter, another word. Hold my hand, baby. Another word. Don't
It's all about the love on Valley Gold with Debórah. Trust, dignity, and peace of mind. These are the qualities you look for when planning the memorial service of a loved one. L.E. Black Phillips and Holden Funeral Home is the name families have come to rely on for pre-need planning, grief support, financial guidance, and compassion during life's most difficult time. Located at 1951 McGuffey Road in Youngstown, in the time of need, it's L.E. Black Phillips and Holden Funeral Home, still caring for the memories most cherished by you. Welcome back to the show. We live in a day and time where many people just can't seem to figure out how to build the kind of relationship that will last a lifetime. Well, my next guest is all about the love. His name is Jason Hairston. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Thank you, Debórah. In this segment, I'm going to talk about why it is important to have financial literacy within a relationship. So a lot of divorces occur over money, believe it or not. A high percentage of them end because of financial disputes. If both partners are financially literate, this can cut down some of the stress that comes along with money issues. So what does it mean to be financially literate? What it means is understanding how to invest in assets where your money begins to work for you. Example, real estate, stocks, things that will grow over time. Because as we all know, inflation is occurring, right? So what you want to do is you want to put a portion of your money away so it can grow along with inflation. Because if not, it puts you in a bind. So if both partners understand this, then they can set up themselves for their future and for their children's future. So this is a part of relationships that we don't discuss a lot, but it's a very important piece that needs to be discussed and looked at. So if we want to have a relationship that has less stress when it comes to money, we need to learn ways to invest so we can grow our capital. And if we grow our capital, the stress comes down.
Y'all need to help her. Somebody help Debórah. Help Debórah. Somebody help her.
The outage started just after 3:30 this afternoon, spreading across the Northeast.
Our choices define us, makes us who we are. Who will you choose to become?
We can't stay here, okay? We need to leave right now. Are you sure you want to do this? Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you have challenges posing your dancers? Well, we have a solution for you. Point Now Flex Posing Cards. We assure you this deck of cards will enhance your next photo shoot with visuals on the front and descriptions on the back. Varying categories to help your photo shoot from the beginning to the end. So honey, go ahead and visit our site and grab your deck of Point Now Flex Posing Cards.
Now, many people know I'm not the world's greatest cook. So while some folks' food is made for eating, a lot of you seem to think that the activities in my kitchen are just for laughs. And to that I say, bon appa ha ha ha. Okay, I'm Debórah and I'm about to make a scrumptious lemon meringue pie. Preheat oven to 425. I can do that. Let's see. So, oops, that's the wrong thing. I hit the wrong button. Let's stop this and start again. Here we go. I can do that. It didn't say whether to put it in a bowl or not, though. Let's see. That sounds like a lot of shortening. I think that's gonna make my my pie crust really greasy. So we're gonna reduce that. How's this gonna turn into a? That's pretty crumbly, but slightly beaten. Maybe you can beat them like this. I could actually hear it moving around in there. Delicious. Okay. So how are we gonna get the juice out of these lemons faster? And now for the tasting. What is in there? 1, 2, 3. Up next, it's Keeping It Fresh on Valley Gold with Debórah. Special delivery. That's what each newborn baby is in the hands of your team in the village. Dr. Rodney Hill and his professional staff of nurse practitioners, conveniently located on 5th Avenue in Youngstown, open weekdays and Saturdays. Excellent prenatal care is what helps ensure a healthy baby. So for the best women's health, reproductive, and prenatal care, you'll want to be in the hands of Dr. Rodney Hill, Mama Carol, and Nurse Sin. They're your team in the village where every delivery is special. Keeping it fresh for us today is a gorgeous, melanin-rich beauty named Ashley All Smiles. Ashley is the quintessential beauty stylist, so from head to shoulders, she's gonna show us how to keep it fresh.
Hello. Hi, Debórah. Thank you so much, and thank you for sharing me with your viewers today. I am Ashley All Smiles. I'm gonna show you how I keep it fresh. Check it out.
Stay tuned as Debórah chops it up with recording artist Alvin Frazier. My guest today is a true testament and example of how important it is to hold on no matter what the odds. Keep striving and never give up on your dreams. After spending many years of working hard as an actor, singer, songwriter, and self-taught musician, his big break finally arrived. Let's welcome my guest today, Alvin Frazier. Welcome to the show, Alvin.
Hey, Debórah, how you doing?
I'm good. So happy that you were able to be my guest today because you got a lot going on.
Well,
so just want you guys to know he had to squeeze us in. So this is special.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I've been watching the Valley Gold Show a long time, so I'm glad to finally be in the house.
I'm so pleased and honored to have him as my guest. So let's get right into the story of Alvin Frazier.
Okay.
So Cleveland native, Cleveland, Ohio native.
Yes.
And like I mentioned in the intro, you really do all these things. You're an actor. You've been in a number of movies. We can start off by talking about some of the movies that you've been in.
Most recently, Judas and the Black Messiah. And then I did a film. I had two films that came out that same week. Another independent film that was really good called How King that I did. And then Miles Ahead with Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Is that the biopic on
Miles Davis?
Yeah.
And I'd always been a long time Miles Davis fan.
Was that like 2017, 2018?
2016 it came out.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a dream. Don has always been a favorite actor of mine, so to be hired by him and to work with him was
What was your role?
Dream. So I was one of the band members. I was a guitar player in one of Miles's bands. So it was kind of like, real briefly, when I got a chance to meet Don the first time and he was already in character for Miles, it was so surreal because it was like, here's one of my favorite actors and here's one of my favorite musicians all in the same person.
Wow. And
I'm generally not a person to be starstruck or giddy. You know, usually I'm pretty cool, pretty laid back. And when I saw him, you know, I'm like, oh, that's Don Cheadle. He always get ready to come over here. So my heart's racing, but I'm still cool on the outside. And then I start doing this stupid smile. I couldn't stop smiling. And I don't normally do that. So I'm just like stop smiling, like, stop. I'm like, before he, so I was able to pull it together. By the time he got to me, I was able to, like, you know, how you doing, man?
He had no clue.
He had no clue.
So let's get into you as a musician.
Okay.
And let me see if I can rip them off. You play piano. You play lead and bass guitar.
Yes.
And you play, don't tell me, percussion, and you play drums.
Yes.
And of course, you also play your vocal cords because you
do.
sing. Did
Yes.
I miss anything?
And a little bit of trumpet, as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been aware that you were a musician? Like, did you start off as a little kid? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I would say my earliest memories as far as my love and development in music, 2 years old. I started thinking, because my father was a singer. He had a singing group and 5-man group. So, you got in the style of the Temptations, Spinners, Dramatics, the OJs, all those different groups like that. And so they would rehearse in our living room,
Oh, wow.
So they would come over there.
With it in the air.
Yeah. So the fellas would come over there and they would stand in a circle in the living room. And what I remember about that too was these guys were like, I never seen guys so well dressed for rehearsal. Like they would be sharp for rehearsal. Nowadays guys got sweats on, t-shirts, shorts,
Hands
whatever.
dropping down below their knees, everything.
These guys, I can remember I could still smell the cologne that they wore. They would really be sharp for rehearsal. No show tonight, just rehearsal. These guys would open their mouths to sing and I would just be mesmerized. I kind of just little kid in the middle, just kind of looking up, between my dad's legs and standing in the middle of the circle, just taking in all the sounds, And literally from that point on, that's where the journey began for me in music at 2.
Awesome. Well, I'm enjoying this time with you. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we will be back with more from the phenomenal Alvin Frazier right back after this. Trust, dignity, and peace of mind. These are the qualities you look for when planning the memorial service of a loved one. L.E. Black Phillips and Holden Funeral Home is the name families have come to rely on for pre-need planning, grief support, financial guidance, and compassion during life's most difficult time. Located at 1951 McGuffey Road in Youngstown, in the time of need, it's L.E. Black Phillips and Holden Funeral Home, still caring for the memories most cherished by you. And we're back on Valley Gold with Debórah with my awesome guest, my faith-filled guest, Alvin Frazier. Can you share with our viewers 3 things that you know for sure can derail a career?
Lack of focus.
So tell us what does that look like, lack of focus?
Like not having a plan.
Okay.
You may say, well, I'm talented, I'm good at what I do, so it's just gonna be a matter of time for people to beating down my door. That's not realistic.
Okay.
You gotta have a plan, and in order to stay the course with the plan, you gotta have focus, which ties into discipline.
Okay.
And I've seen quite a few people who lack that. The other thing I would say is your circle. The company you keep.
That's important.
That's very important. The company you keep. Everybody can't go to the next level. And that's unfortunate. I know we want to hold, well, this is my boy, this is my girl, this is my this is my that. But everybody's not equipped to go there. And those are kind of part of the sacrifices you have to make in this journey as well. You gotta sometimes.
And that's a tough one.
It's a very tough one. And a lot of people have had their careers stunted. I've seen that happen with a spouse who wasn't supportive of them, didn't feel comfortable with her touring or working around all these guys, or vice versa, comfortable with, him touring or being around these women or whatever the case may be. And in effort to please your mate, you pull back, or drop on altogether.
When it comes to opportunities in this kind of business, you can't afford to just pull back.
You can't.
You're either in it.
Right. It's kind of like, and you have to have someone who understands that. And that's the thing, because people will say, well, all the ladies or whatever after you or, whatever. And it's like, okay, well, finding a woman or a lady to be with in terms of to be a girlfriend or whatever or wife isn't hard, The hard part about it is having the right one that understands you and what it is you do. You know, that's where the challenge comes, because if you pair up with the wrong person, that's definitely going to derail you.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen that countless times. You know, I would say the third thing would be is not being self-aware.
So break that down.
So like, if you're dealing with personal trauma, things that happen to you in your life growing up, and as a result of that, that causes you to maybe be angry, abuse alcohol or abusing drugs, you know, as a way to deal with it, you know, or, you know, being a womanizer or the opposite of that for women.
And so you're saying not really being aware of how the impact that you're having?
Yeah, not being aware, you know, because to me, in my opinion, Debórah, self-awareness that's the key to me to living a successful life and having successful relationships, right? Because when people will run down all the things that matter to them in relationships, you know, what they want with their husband, what they want with their wife, or girlfriend, or boyfriend, oftentimes I never hear them mention understanding. They talk about loyalty, faithfulness, love, da-da-da-da. Those things are cool. But if you don't understand your husband, it's not going to work.
Right.
Flat out.
Right.
You know, he never cheated on you. He never did any of those things. He never put his hands on you. He never mismanaged my finances. You know what, none of those things.
If you don't understand why, you could think it's because he just never, because he's so great. And maybe it's because he's just not interested. Right.
Right. So it's all those different things. But understanding is so important. It's key. It's key to success. And so understanding comes with your ability to be self-aware.
Stay tuned for more with Debórah's special guest, Alvin Frazier. It's the all-new Valley Gold with Debórah. Now when you watch, let's not be selfish about it by keeping it all to yourself. Show me and your friends some love by sharing the links and leaving comments. Tell me what you think. I absolutely love reading remarks from our viewers. Now, stay tuned, because we're going to keep this party going. Now, let me introduce you to the newest member of that Grammy Award-winning Motown group known as the Dazz Band. Introducing bass guitarist Alvin Frazier.
Wow, yeah.
How did you land that gig?
A lot of people have these videos where they're posting videos and playing bass guitar up against different records. And, you know, I'll check out a few, and there's a lot of, I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The whole gamut. You know, you name it, there's videos of somebody playing bass guitar, right? Everybody's funking out, you know. And, you know, I be watching, I'm like, man, these some cool videos, you know, some not so much, but a lot of them are really good. You know, they get your numbers up, different things like that. So I was like watching, like, man, I'm like, I think people forget that I'm a bass player too. And I was like, man, yeah, everybody's slapping up. I'm gonna go the other route. I'm gonna go to the ballad, softer side, you know, because slapping is fun, but I'm like, these bass lines got a little bit more meat to them in terms of movement. So I wanted to do something along that line. Plus it was like, get out of the static. I'm always a person like, if everybody's going right, go left, Alvin. I'm gonna do Gamble with My Love by Dazz Band, because the Dazz Band's always been a favorite group. When you do those kind of videos, the goal is to play exactly what's on the record. Like, don't do your own thing. So you gotta listen to a little bit more detail. So I wanted to hear what, you know, the late great Michael Wiley did on bass on that record. And so I wanted to hear where his licks were in there. Like, I knew the movements just to play it, but I'm like, okay, I want to trace it, right? So I can hit it when he did. Put the clip up, 30 seconds. Cool, bass ballads. About 3 weeks later, I just got back from New York. I see a message from in my inbox, and I didn't look at it. I was finishing the gig. I said, well, maybe they must be promoting a new single. I'll check it when I get home. Got home, sat down, settled in, looked at it, and it was from management. And then, like, we saw the Gamble video. We loved it. You know, can you give us a call tomorrow afternoon? We'd like to talk to you about a possible opportunity. So I'm thinking like, all right, it must be some contest coming up. What is it? Let It Whip contest? You know, in my mind, I'm thinking like
anything but.
Anything but. I'm like, they're not calling me, you know, saying call me because we got a job for you. I'm like 30 seconds on the slow jam. After this 25 minute conversation, they were basically saying, hey, we're looking for a bass player and want to know if you're interested.
Wow.
I said, I remember getting on the phone like, no way. Like you just don't offer somebody a
like,
job.
Are you pranking me?
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting for the rug to be pulled or the plug to be pulled from this situation. Cause I'm like, it was like, yo, this has got to be like a dream come true. Like you love the Daz Band. But talking with Bobby, when he said, man, the thing I saw in that clip, he said, you played the record like the record. He said you were confident. And when I found out that you were in Cleveland, because I lived in New York for a while, he was like, oh yeah, he got that Cleveland thing, you know? And that was something that he really liked too as well, because that was personal for him being a native of Cleveland, you know, from where they started. And he was like, when I saw that clip, he was like, I knew that that's somebody we need to talk to.
I'm so proud to know you. I'm so proud that here you are from Ohio and now touring the world with the world-renowned Daz Band.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, awesome.
So before we wrap things up, share with our viewers where they can contact you, where they can get your music.
Okay, so you can go, follow me on Instagram first of all. I am Alvin Frazier on Instagram. I am Alvin Frazier on Facebook. I am Alvin Frazier on Twitter. Some interesting thoughts on Twitter. Definitely check that out. And then for like the hub for all things Alvin Frazier, go to alvinfraziermusic.com. That's alvinfraziermusic.com. You go to alvinfrazier.com, that's going to be somewhere else. I don't know who that is, but alvinfraziermusic.com. On the site, you got all of my music, all 3 of my albums, and you can get the new album River. Definitely. Now, let me say this really quickly. Streaming is cool. You stream it and you like it, then buy it. And that goes not just for me, but for any artist that you love, especially as independent artists. You know, just pause for a minute, find out where that album is available or that single is available, put it in your library, and then stream all day. It's all good. But definitely make sure that if you're streaming and you like it, please buy it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being my guest, and we're expecting to see and hear more awesome things from Alvin Frazier. And I'm Debórah, and until next time, that's it for now. Bye-bye.